It is a snowy one in Toronto. Hopefully where you are across the country, it is not. It's a Friday. Welcome back to BT. Kat, Nat, Sid, and Frank Ferragini here with you. Dina is back next week. You two have been great. Thanks for coming by.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having us.
You're really good with champagne bottles. That's what I've learned.
She is. I'm known for
You've
it.
had some experience there.
Just a bit. Just a bit. Just a bit.
Pop in those bottles.
Yes.
All right. The story that Tammy Sutherland has been reporting on all morning, I vividly remember yesterday on my timeline at one point seeing that Lisa Marie Presley, the only child of Elvis Presley, had a cardiac arrest and went to hospital. And I saw some tweets insinuating she's under observation, you know, it's a serious situation. And then about 3 hours later, we learned she passed away at the age of 54. Ironically enough, it was Elvis's birthday this past Sunday. Also, ironically enough, Austin Butler won Best Actor in a Drama for the movie Elvis a few nights ago at the Golden Globes. And Lisa Marie with her mom Priscilla were at their table. In fact, Priscilla Presley walked the red carpet, and our own Devo Brown, who was covering the Golden Globes, spoke to her. Let's go back in time and run it for you.
And you know, just with your family and everybody watching this film, what kind of emotions ran through your mind as you saw it?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, when I first saw it, I was in awe over the fact that looking at him and seeing his gesture, living this story, it brought back a lot of memories. You know, I mean, he did a great job. He did a great job. I hope he wins.
I hope so, too.
And later that night, we have one more piece of video to show you after Austin Butler wins the award. He specifically singles out Lisa Marie and Priscilla. Take a look.
I also want to thank our incredible producers and Warner Brothers and the Presley family. Thank you guys. Thank you for opening your hearts, your memories, your home to me. Lisa Marie, Priscilla, I love you forever.
She would die 2 years after, or 2 days after, which is unbelievable to think about. It can't be easy, Frank, to be Elvis's kid. It can't be. I know financially people are going to watch this and think, yeah, all right, you know, you want for nothing. You want for nothing, which probably is true. But you have to live up to a certain image and thing, and it seemed like she always had trouble in her life doing that.
It always seemed like she was somewhat an introvert. There seemed to always be some darkness that was there. You know, I'm 50, she's 54, so she was growing up at the same time that I was growing up. I remember that she was married to Michael Jackson for a period of time, and that's probably what I most remember her for. It would be difficult, and she may have had a broken heart because her son has just passed away. I think it was just a year ago or 2 years ago.
It was a couple years ago
of
from
suicide. Yes, so there could be a little bit of that. Yeah, when the eyes are always on you, it's hard in life.
No doubt, no doubt. Kat, go ahead.
Just as a mom, right? She had 4 children,
Yeah.
but 3 daughters are still here, and you know, when we posted it on our Instagram, a lot of people were like, the whole thing is just sad. They've had such a sad life. And that's what just kept coming up, was the sadness around the whole situation. Nothing really seemed light or easy, or never seemed like a very, easy time for any of them. I guess it's where she grew up, and I feel like he's an idol, like a total idol for so many people, and I don't know how you live in that.
She would never have her own identity, I don't think, right?
And everyone would want you for him, right? Like, that's what you're known for.
And was never allowed, Nat, to really have her own. Let's be fair about it. You're right, the demands on her for obvious reasons. After a while, that does take a toll.
Yeah,
it has to.
I mean, the only child of Elvis Presley. I mean, I can't imagine being in the public eye and trying to live up to that. And I actually just recently watched the movie on a plane ride home. I had no idea the whole story and everything. And now I think about Priscilla, her mom, and everything she's been through, and that's just so sad too.
The pain on their faces, though, during that was a lot of pain they both had. You know, that was not joyful memories. That seemed like a very painful, they seemed very touched and overwhelmed by the experience almost.
There's not a lot of positives in the story at all, obviously, but like the one thing that at least the family got was some semblance of peace in that it's very difficult to tell this story properly.
Yeah.
And from the production team to Austin Butler, who was on this couch not that long ago, Devo Brown did a tremendous interview with him. It's very hard to get that story right.
Yes.
And it's very hard to tell the story in a way that's both interesting to the outsiders looking in and to the family.
Yes.
And they found a way to do it.
They did.
This is one of the best movies of the year. If you haven't, I don't know what
I've
you're
seen
waiting
it.
on.
So
You got to
good.
see it.
So
And
good.
even if you don't like Elvis, you still have to see it.
Yeah, and even if you, I didn't even know what Elvis stood for. I thought he was just, I didn't know. I thought he was just a singer with some crazy moves. I didn't know the history of who he was, and you know that he was such a leader and all of that. And the family was really happy with the movie, so that is good.
For sure. But the one that you mentioned, the Michael Jackson, you know, that was, it just continued a theme in her life where she was always associated with some of the biggest names in the history of pop culture. And it wasn't easy to be Elvis's kid, and it wasn't easy to be momentarily married to the Prince of Pop, and it wasn't easy to try and cut a record when you know you're not Elvis, but people think you can be close to Elvis, and then they call you a failure because you're not Elvis when no one's Elvis.
Yes.
It's just it was one of those after another, and I have this award season's not done. This is going to be very difficult for the family. It's going to be very difficult, obviously, but very difficult for Austin Butler, who now is the guy might walk away with an Academy Award here, but with a lot of pain from a family that has supported him a lot over the last several years. It is going to be quite the scene. But again, some really sad news, and Lisa Marie Presley. We just saw her a couple days ago. We literally just saw her. Sad news. Gone at the age of 54.